Alright guys, so Poison Mushroom Cookie is making a comeback for our Guild Boss battle, and here is the reason why. If you guys look at the screen right now, you guys are going to be able to see that there was actually a patch back in June 15th to fix a damage output for Poison Mushroom Cookie. So the skill level between 60 and 70, there was a reduced damage from the poison. So they have actually fixed that, allowing Poison Mushroom to do a lot more damage, especially for the Guild Boss battle. That's why there has been a lot of other kind of builds out there now, including Poison Mushroom with Affogato, to do a ton of poison damage to the dragon, dealing a massive amount of damage. Of course, the damage is going to differ depending on your build, as well as, you know, your tech laboratory and things like that. But still, consider this build if you guys have already built Poison Mushroom back in the days when, you know, Poison Mushroom was an absolute beast for the Guild Boss battle, or you just want a different kind of a, you know, adjustment for your Guild Boss battle team. And before I get into the topics, I do want to give a shout out to YouTuber Andy Runner for this build, because he is going to be the one that shared the specific topping settings for this specific build. So I want to give a shout out. You guys can find his video of that specific video down in the description. Of course, it is going to be in Korean, so I am going to be sharing it for you guys in English. But here you go guys, topping is going to be 4 dark choco, 5 of the juicy apple jelly. This is something that I've shared with you guys previously. We are going to be using around 8.3 to 8.5% cooldown. Attack speed and cooldown is going to differ depending on your actual setting. Depends on your mobile devices as well. If you guys are playing on an emulator, the results can vary depending on that. So make sure to practice and adjust the attack speed as well as cooldown accordingly. You don't really need too much damage resist because the sheep are going to be there to tank for the team, but of course, you do want to put a little bit if you guys have the luxury too. Next one is going to be Affogato. So this build actually can also change as well. So if you guys have a maxed out tech on your crit, if you have the Altar of the Fallen and things like that, and you guys want to utilize the crit build, then you guys can actually change 2 of these Searing Raspberry to the Juicy Apple Jelly. And then you guys can also try to take a risk at the crit percentage as well. But this is going to be the build that I just personally feel like is better for me, as well as I just don't feel like I'm doing too much damage when I used it. I tried both builds. The damage difference is there, so that's why I'm going to be using the 5 of the Searing Raspberry. So the main thing here is going to be you want to have about 8% cooldown, 8.5% cooldown if you guys can, and then you want to have a little bit of damage resist, because in case Affogato does crit and takes the damage reflection, then he can die. So make sure to have a little bit just so that you have a breathing room of him not dying. And the next one is gonna be Eclair. This is kind of similar to before as well. 3 of the Searing Raspberry, 2 Juicy Apple Jelly. I do have a decent amount of damage resist as well as attack crit percentage, and then also the cooldown is going to be important. Andy Runner has said about 3.2 to 3.5%, so try to keep it around there so that the run through is very similar to how it is. And the next one is going to be a Poison Mushroom. Poison Mushroom is going to be using this build right here. So there's a lot of different builds. I've gone through the Neighbor Cafe as well. There's some builds where you use 3 Searing Raspberry, 2 Juicy Apple Jelly again to utilize the crit. Of course, you don't need to if you guys don't have the, you know, Altar of the Fallen and the crit technology leveled up, because, you know, it is going to make a huge difference. So I do recommend, if you guys don't have that, then go with the 5 of the Searing Raspberry. And then I do have a good amount of damage resist. It went for attack. If you do have crit there, it is good too, just in case, you know, you have a chance of actually critting a little bit more often. But the cooldown is going to be important here, around 6.9 6.8 around there, so that you guys are able to utilize this specific build exactly as it follows. And the next one is going to be Cotton. Here is the difference between my build and Andy's. So Andy Runners actually has 24.8% cooldown, but still it is going to work. I heard that you can even have 23.8%, but he had 24.8%, but you are still going to be able to utilize this build. So here you go guys, the treasures are always going to be the same thing. And then of course the important thing here is going to be the dragon. So let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. Alright guys, so I do have my camera off here because I do want to show you guys. Make sure to turn off auto, because if you don't, then the skill order is going to change. Alright, so make sure to use content skill. I like to use it right as Eclair's skill is about to end, and then that is going to allow my dark choco to survive. Of course, you're going to have to practice that, and it is going to kind of differ depending on your devices, so make sure to do that. And then as soon as Cotton skill is up again, make sure to press on it, and then everything else is pretty much auto. And then you're just gonna have to, you know, just let it go run through. And then if you guys do have the chance to press the buttons, then press the button. But here's the important thing, guys. So because it is poison damage, this little dragon needs to survive, because this mini dragon right here is gonna allow the red velvet dragon to take more poison damage. Right, so while it's breathing, it's still taking that poison damage, allowing you to deal extra damage from Affogato and Poison Mushroom. Of course, this is going to differ depending on your tech and laboratory as well. My Poison Mushroom Bomber technology and Affogato Bomber technology is actually a bit lower. I don't even have the second attack boost up. So definitely there's you know, things that can be upgraded about this build, and that is not the full potential, all right, of this actual build. So definitely something that you guys can try out. But there you guys go, a new Poison Mushroom as well as Affogato build that you guys can try out against the dragon. Of course, this is going to be a high level dragon, and make sure to realize that you do need to have that little dragon that is obtainable from having all the artifacts from the guild museum. So make sure to keep that in mind as well. And of course, like I said, there's a lot of improvements that you guys can make. And of course, the highest damage that I've done is going to be about 18 million damage, which you guys can see in the screen right now from a screenshot. Of course, this is going to depend on the crit and all those different factors, but I think this is going to be a very, very good guild boss battle team for you guys, especially if you guys have Poison Mushroom leveled up. Of course, I will be trying out different guild boss battle teams, especially with Oyster, because of the crit boost as well as crit damage boost, but that is going to need a little bit more time, so please watch out for that video. Anyways, guys, hope you guys found the video helpful. I do want to give a quick shout out once again for Andy Runner for sharing this build. If you guys do want to check out his channel as well as that video, I will leave it down in the description. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.